to MCSC TV. Now, guys, on today's video, I'm going to be joined by my boyfriend, Tom. He is actually a Dortmund fan as well as a Chelsea fan. And obviously, Tuchel was in charge of Dortmund. So Tom is going to give us a little bit more of an insight today about what to expect from Tuchel at Chelsea. He knows a lot more about Tuchel than I do anyways. So let's get into it. So first things first, Tom, can you give us a quick glimpse of what to expect from Tuchel at Chelsea?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so obviously a sort of similar what we've seen against Wolves, sort of a high press, very possession-based football. He's a very tactical manager, sort of not afraid to change things if it's not working. He's gets quite animated. He always brings his players to one side, which we've seen a little bit in the Wolves game. Sort of, I suppose, best way to compare it is to Guardiola. In fact, there was a moment in a restaurant where they met up with each other, and about an hour they had loads of salt shakers on the table, sort of talking about tactics and all formations and things like that. So expect, high pressing for possession-based football and variety of formations and things like that. So hopefully some exciting times ahead. And
also, how do you expect us to play?
Yeah, so like I said, high intensity pressing. He's been known to experiment with formations. Obviously, he had the 5 back. I think that might have been sort of first training session, sort of knowing the players there, not knowing them too well. Sort of, like I said, relying on experience and things like that. But usually under Dortmund, he played with 4 at the back, and had, I think it would have usually been Weigl sort of drops back in possession, sort of creates a back 3. So obviously the fullbacks can push up a bit more. So it's effectively how we played against Wolves in possession, things like that. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Like I say, very tactically minded, things like that. He's not afraid to make changes and sort of the high pressing game, things like that. One touch football, that sort of stuff.
Excited. So now on to youth. A lot of Chelsea fans will be wanting to know about Mason Mount, and obviously like Billy Gilmore, Reece James. Do you think Tuchel will utilise the youth, or do you think they're going to get pushed aside?
Yeah, I think a lot of people were worried about that thing on social media and things like that. Obviously, when the first team sheet came out and obviously Mount wasn't on it, a lot of people were thinking, oh, what is it? I mean, could have been, simply just to rest him, obviously playing so many games previously, just give him a rest in this congested fixture list. Or it could have been, like I say, maybe a statement of intent from him, thinking, everyone's same level, you've got to earn your right to be in the team, which I don't know, Matt would do anyway. But it might have been the sort of thing saying, I'm here. There's no free passes into the team. And I think that was sort of proven well with the Chilwell substitution. Obviously, when Pulisic was ready to come on, I think a lot of people thought, it might be Ziyech or Havertz to come off. But when it was Chilwell, even his surprised face, I think, what, me? Sort of, showed what he's about. He's not afraid to change anything if it's not working. If he wants to just change it up and change a different dynamic, then he's more than happy to, regardless of the player.
Yeah. So he probably will utilise the youth then. But as I said, we're going to have to wait and see if them players prove their worth, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. I think what's good with Tuchel actually is that, unlike I said about Guardiola, Guardiola likes obviously to bring in, if a player's not working well, he'll just bring in a new one and that'll suit his system. Whereas I think Tuchel, he likes to work with his players that he's got, improve them. I mean, he's more than happy to sort of change his. I mean, when he first came to Dortmund, I believe there was an injury to Piszczek, he put Matthias Ginter, the centre back at Borussia Mönchengladbach, at right back. It actually worked out quite well for a few weeks, but he's not afraid to try something new. So it wouldn't surprise you if we see some odd choices, which I suppose, with Callum Hudson-Odoi starting at right wing back, that was a bit of a surprise. He played very well in it as well, so I think that's a winner for him. But it'll just be interesting to see. Obviously, with the youth players that come through, Gilmore obviously would get a sniff under Lampard. I think in the press conference, Tuchel was saying that he does like the way he plays. He's got a nice fast mind for that sort of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see if he implements him in the team. So.
Now on to talking about our summer signings. A lot of Chelsea fans will be thinking about this right now, I'm sure. Do you think Tuchel can get the best out of Werner and Havertz? Because obviously that's a massive discussion on right now. All of our eyes have been on them two players. Obviously, Werner, it's been frustrating to watch him as a Chelsea fan. He misses so many chances, and even I can't remember what game it was in actually recently, but he even missed an open net. And then obviously Havertz had coronavirus. He wasn't the same since that. So do you think Tuchel will get the best out of both of them?
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought personally in the first game Havertz was brilliant. I thought he'd shown glimpses that we hadn't seen from him so far. I think there was a story that came out that Havertz and Werner sort of weren't warming to Lampard that much. I think there was a thing saying that they were also used to more sort of advanced tactical things like that, whereas Lampard, I think, was more of a sort of throw them on, see what they can do sort of thing. Obviously, I'll be honest, I was very much Lampard in, but after a while it does get sort of figured out. That's what it does, as I think as was shown in the run. But with those two, I think we can definitely work out. I think Havertz in that sort of roaming number 10 sort of second striker even role, who didn't get to see Werner. I think that might have been sort of get him to one side, give him a sort of a break sort of thing, like say frustrate. I think it's just very like a lot of times I think we had players that would sort of duck out of getting into challenge, but Werner was always willing to make the runs. He was always willing to get in there sort of thing. It just never came off for him. So hopefully we can see a little bit more from him. And I think I reckon Tuchel will get the best. I think under his tutelage at Dortmund, obviously had Aubameyang sort of playing off the shoulder of the defenders, which I suppose Werner was very much used to. So I think might work in that sort of way. And like I say, Havertz did well. Roman number 10, obviously not necessarily too many defensive duties, which I think a lot of people sort of get annoyed at, thinking like, well, I suppose Ozil was the best sort of comparison, thinking, well, why should he play him if we're just carrying him? But, it can just bring out some fantastic things. So hopefully gets the best out of him.
And finally, that all-important question, do you think we can win some silverware with Tuchel?
I think we'll know more against Burnley. See how we play there. If we play him off the park, win 4-0, something like that, then we can obviously look a bit brighter. Or if it's a sort of a stalemate like we had against Wolves, it'll be a sort of a bit of a worry. But I think our best chance to win is probably the FA Cup. I reckon we could win the FA Cup. League, I think hopefully we'll get to top 4. I look at it and just think, I know there are so many teams in between, but there's still sorry.
No, it's all right.
But there's still not many points in between. So if we win, then all of a sudden we'll climb up a few places. So, but I think FA Cup, Champions League, Premier League, I think is just a little bit too far from our graph. But FA Cup is definitely something that we can win.
You know me, Tom. I am quite positive and an optimistic person. You never know what might happen in the Champions League. Who knows?
No, but
Di Matteo season. Who knows?
Di Matteo, yeah. Never know. You never know.
Got to get Champions League and FA Cup. We'll get everything. We're greedy.
Oh yes. We'll go for the treble. Yeah.
Chelsea Football Club sack manager Frank Lampard, then Tuchel comes in and we win 3 trophies. Not going to happen, is it? But we can help.
We can hope. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Like I say, I think we'll see more about his choice selection. It might have been just, like you said, about the experience of the game against Wolves, sort of picking like the Aspilicuetas and the players like that, the Girouds. I think it'll be interesting. We'll know more against Burnley to see which sort of direction he wants to go. Surprise me if he just completely changes the back line, goes to a back 4, or if he just might just keep it as the back 5. I think a lot of people are sort of worrying about Kante. What's he going to do? Is he going to be in there? Could be Jorginho Kante. Could be Kante Kovacic. Could be Jorginho Kovacic. You just never know with Tuchel. He's known to, like I say, just sort of mix things up a bit if it's not working. So
we'll
see.
Yeah. So you said we'll we've got the chance of maybe winning the FA Cup. I'm predicting that too. Final question before we end this video. Do you think we can achieve top 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
I think we will after. Like I said, well, no more against Burnley, but I think after what I saw against Wolves, after one training session, I think we can do it because you've got the squad that we have. It's top 4 material. I mean, we were top of the table a couple of months ago, so it's definitely got the.
No, go on. Sorry, what were you going to say?
No, well, no, yeah, it's just definitely got the. It's definitely got the. What's the word? Oh, I've forgotten the word, but yeah, we should be in top 4 basically.
I'm not dismissing your point. I'm definitely not dismissing your point. But do you not feel like Burnley tomorrow is too quick to judge? He hasn't even had a full week with the players yet. Like,
no, but he's still got his. I mean, he's very intense. In training, we've already seen like the clips in training, things like that. He's very, very vocal, and on training on the side of the pitch, he'll be very, again, very vocal, very animated. Things like bringing his players across to talk. Where he wants them positioned, what sort of runs he wants to make. So he likes to sort of change it on the pitch as well, change tactics on the pitch. But I think the players that we've got, sort of the clubs they've come past, Ziyech from Ajax, Werner and Havertz from Leverkusen, things like that. They've all sort of been used to all these different tactics that they'll be able to implement them quite quickly.
Brilliant. Yeah, so that's today's video, guys. Thank you so much for coming on, Tom.
Thank you for having me.
And yeah, guys, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that big thumbs up and subscribe down below if you're new to the channel. And thank you so much. Up the shelf.
Bye.
Bye.